Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Matthew. Today I'm going to be showing you what to check on a few things on the Xbox One when what you do is you push the button and it powers on and then makes the eject noise and then it beeps off. So I do not have this problem, but this is what I would do is if I had it. I saw that a lot of people actually have this problem in the comments of a video, so I'm making a video on it. Now, as you might know, this will not work. This plan will not work for the 1S or 1X because how it works is there's no actual physical button you touch here. It is just a sensor. So this will only work for the Xbox One original. The first thing I'm going to check is the ribbon cable. Now, the ribbon cable is a cable that goes from the Xbox One sign to the eject sign button to the synchronize button and back into the Xbox console. So we're going to take that off and test some things. But first we're going to have to take it apart. Now if you already know how to take your Xbox apart, you can go ahead and skip this part. If not, you can just keep on watching. We're going to turn it so that we can see the USB port. You're just going to use your finger, and I've done this a lot so it's easy for me, but it might be a little hard. You're just going to pry it off. That is the beginning of how to take it apart. You can see right here I've already taken it apart a lot, so there's a lot of like wear right here. It's going to be a little bit easier for me, but what you're going to do is you're going to use like a butter knife and you're going to pry it here and then pry along this line past the sticker, and then on the top of this vent, and then over this vent as well. Now, when you are all done prying and you're about to lift the top part off, be careful because, like I said, there's that ribbon cable and it likes to tear. So I'm just going to go ahead and pry that. The ribbon cable is attached right here, and all you're going to have to do is there's a little piece that loops around front. You're just kind of pull that piece out and then pull this piece back, and the ribbon cable should slide right out. Alright, so now that you have the ribbon cable off of your Xbox One, do what I call is teasing it. That is when you just get a disc, like just any old disc, and then you kind of put it, I don't have my Xbox One plugged in right now, and you kind of put it right in the disk drive just a little bit to make it so that it senses it and it comes on, but it won't actually come on because, it won't take it because you have to pull it out quickly. Like, just make it sense it so that it will kind of turn on. You can try that, and if that works, you can go ahead and you can put the ribbon cable back in where it goes. If the Xbox works with you sensing it and like if it will stay on, you can put the ribbon cable back where it goes and then try to use the sensor again. If that doesn't work, if putting the ribbon cable back in using sensor again, you might need to replace the ribbon cable, which is like a $5 replacement off Amazon. Now I'm going to show you what to do if it still doesn't work. Now if this tactic I'm going to show you doesn't work, that means you're just going to need further help. But as you can see, there's a front board right here, and this front board could also be the problem. What you have to do is right here, there is a little piece you just have to unplug. That's the speaker, and then next to it, this is the internet. You can just go ahead and unplug this carefully, and then there are 3 screws right there, and right there. You just get a Torx, wherever my Torx is, I'll have to find it in a minute. You just get a Torx and you unscrew them. Do that next. I just removed those 3 bolts right there. So now this thing, since you have the speakers removed, let me zoom it out for a little bit for you. since you have the speaker wire and the internet wire removed, and also the 3 bolts, you should be able to remove this. Wait, will you? Looks like you have to remove this whole bottom piece. So you're going to have to remove the Xbox from the case first. Use a T9 and I believe a T8, I'm not sure though, to remove these bolts. There should be like, I think 6 or 7 of them, I'm not sure. This Xbox console didn't have all the bolts to it, so I'm not sure. But first you're going to have to remove the internet card. Carefully remove the wire, the internet wire, and then just lift the card. And then now there should be a bolt under it, but there's not on this one for some reason. But you can go ahead and you can remove all of the bolts that say C next to it. So go ahead and do that. Alright, so now that I have all the top bolts removed with the C next to it, make sure the C, and they should look like this, kind of longer. You can go ahead and carefully put your hand in the bottom and just lift the whole inside of the console up, and then move the case away. Now the next thing you're going to do is right here. Let me move the camera for you. You'll see that little dotted spot right there, right under the CD drive. That is connected to this whole board right here that your ribbon cable goes in. Remove that carefully by putting one hand to the left. As you see, you got one hand right here, and then the other hand next to the ribbon. No, I'm sorry, the other hand next to the dotted spot, and wiggle back and forth. Very so gently, because you don't want this piece to break. And it should come out just like that. And that is where it was plugged in. And this is also right here where it was plugged in. So this board might also be your problem. I know that if your ribbon cable is not in and you push on this a little, it will think that you're pushing buttons. So that also might be your problem. So go ahead and plug it in, and I will tell you, if it is in this condition, it still has the fan and thermal paste and everything in it, so it will not hurt it to plug it in. You could even play games like this, but one thing is that there is no internet since we took the internet card out. So go ahead and plug it in, and then use a disc again to tease it, what I'd like to call teasing it. You just like kind of sense it, but then pull it back so that it turns on. And if the problem did not go away, of course, like you're not gonna have any noise. But you're not gonna have any noise or light. But you can plug it into the back because you can plug it into the back because you will have display. So if the problem doesn't go away, if it turns on and turns off real quick, again, still, you're just gonna have to seek further help. Now, what I would do is if I had that problem and I was facing that and I just want to stop, I would just go ahead and take the board off. And there's a wire connected back in here, way back here for the internet, so you're going to have to unplug that. And I would just give it a good cleaning. My Xbox is fairly clean right now, as you can see, actually, because I just cleaned it yesterday. I just took it all apart and I just cleaned it out, so there's pretty much no dust, and it's running pretty good. But if that did fix your problem, one is try to find a replacement one of these off eBay. I'm guessing like maybe $10. If you can't find that, just buy a whole downer console that says for parts. That's probably not what's bad on it, but you can just buy a whole downer console for parts. And the next option is to not play with this. Now, if you don't play with this piece, if you just put it back together, you won't have any face buttons at all, but you can still do everything without face buttons, but you won't have any internet. So you need this piece for internet unless you have wired internet. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly put this back together. And I will show you how to put it back together because it is a tricky thing with how the disk drive aligns perfectly. So I'm just going to put this back together real quick. Quick reminder, you cannot put these screws back in until you put the case in the bottom, since these are right here is what the screws screw down into. Alright, now I have all of the screws in and everything pretty much attached except the top piece. Now I will show you how to do that top piece now because it is kind of tricky. So you might think, why can't I just like put it on the same way I took it off, like this? If you do that, the disk drive slot right here and the disk drive won't align, so you can't actually use disks. If you think you will never in your life again, since this will take off, use any disks for this thing, you can go ahead and do that, but I'm going to show you how to do it so it aligns just perfectly. In the back here of the front panel, you'll find way up here, right here, there's these little tabs. Start at one end and push the tab down, and then kind of pull the front case down. Just kind of wiggle it down like this, and as you'll see, this tab right here is going to stay off. And you do that second one and just pull back and push down a little bit until you get all of them off, which should look like this. Now remember, always be careful about that ribbon cable. They do like to tear easy. This is actually the second one I used because I had to replace mine because I tore it. Now this just snaps on like normal now, since you have that on. It just snaps on like normal, but before I do that, I like to attach the ribbon cable because I feel like that's easier. This is how you are going to attach the ribbon cable. So you have that there, and you have this ribbon cable here. All you're going to do is take the ribbon cable and make sure this piece right here, you just push that out and then push this up like that. Take the ribbon cable and slide that skinnier piece in so it looks just like this. Let me show you. Looks just like that. Then you go ahead and push this down and back, that front little piece down and back. And there you go. That ribbon cable is in. So of course you're going to want to test everything on it, like synchronize, eject, and startup button after you're done, because you don't want to put it back together and realize, and have to use it sometime and realize it's not put together right. So next what you do is you take this part right here, take this top part, and you're going to just put it on like normal without the front cover. So just snap it back on. Just like that. And then for the front piece, you will see that there are like little grooves in the bottom. You're going to go ahead and match that up so it like closes like a hinge. And then since there's these top things right here that you had to remove earlier, you're able just to like that. So now that's all back together and the disk drive will align. It should align. Let me just grab a disk and kind of slide it in there, make sure. Yep, disk drive aligns. And we're missing one piece, and that is to this side. And that just snaps back on like that. So there you go, guys. So that's what I would do if I had that problem where it turns on, eject noise happens, and then beeps off. Because I would first, let me just go through a quick summary. I would first look at the ribbon cable, and then I would, if that doesn't work, if I buy a replacement one for that, it doesn't work, you know. Second, I would check the front panel there, that little front panel I showed you how to remove, and I would tease it with a disc to see if it works without that piece, because if it does, that means that piece is faulty. I'm sure you can find one like $10 off eBay, or you can find or you can just buy a downer console for like $20 and just take the piece off of it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I had a lot of fun making this video, and go check out my other videos. I did one on how to make your Xbox One power brick quit humming when you're not using it. So when your Xbox is not on or not doing anything, I figured out how to make it so your power brick doesn't make any noise without unplugging either from the power brick or from the wall. Alright, thank you for watching. Please subscribe and have a good day.